Good afternoon, Postal Family. How's everybody doing? My name is Saeed. Welcome back to my channel. What's going on this Saturday afternoon? Thanks so much, everybody, for all you do. Today, what I'm talking about is what steps our beloved post office is taking to conserve the cash. Apparently, Steiner, what he said is serious. They're taking steps to save money here and there. Want to get to what exactly they're doing to progress that, save money, and which departments, how. But first, if you're new to the channel, my name is Saeed. Postal content is what I do, love to do. Thanks everybody for all the support. Keep giving me the thumbs up, smash that hype button, helps out everything on here. Thanks again, all you do. Took a couple days off, guys, with the family. Once a year the vacation comes around. Appreciate it. Your patience, guys. A couple of days off. Back at it though. Loved every part of it. Relax with the family a little bit, reset, rest and reset. You all know what I'm talking about. We all need that. So, anyways, thanks everybody for all the support always. The comments, massive comments I gotta get to, man. I got my work cut out for me. I gotta get to replying each and every one of you. I appreciate so much taking the time out to put a comment in. Love you, all you do. This is exactly why I do this. The love, respect. Thanks so much. And everything you all do for me, I respect it very much. So everything I say on here is from my views, my research. I don't speak on behalf of USPS Post Office in any of my videos. So what I'm talking about this video, USPS apparently, the Steiner said they're gonna run out of cash in 2027. They're taking steps on it, but they're not taking the right steps. They are sitting right under their noses to save billions. You all know what I'm talking about. So let's get to this article first of all, then we'll get to the other common sense stuff they can do immediately. The USPS is facing a massive immediate financial crisis, according to an internal memo leaked on May 27th. Postmaster General David Steiner has officially sounded the alarm. The USPS projected to run out of cash by early 2027. We know that. To keep the lights on, the agency is taking extraordinary measures and implementing aggressive, immediate spending freezes. The, the, the immediate emergency measures, the belt tightening, Postmaster General David Steiner issued a mandatory memo restricting all non-essential spending across all departments. The freezes will remain in place until the agency's cash position stabilizes. These cuts include hiring freeze. Hiring is strictly limited to backfilling already vacant authorized positions. Hiring beyond the authorized headcount now requires direct approval from Deputy Postmaster General Doug Tolino. This won't affect unionized frontline mail carriers due to collective bargaining agreements, but overall external hiring and management structures will feel the squeeze. Travel and training suspensions. All non-essential travel is banned unless it directly protects, generates revenue, or fulfills a strict legal audit. In-person conferences, team events, celebrations, and employee engagement activities are paused or heavily scaled back. Speaking of in-person conferences, well, our NALC is doing, but that's all from our union dues. So USPS has nothing to do with that. That's the NALC side. They feed off of our union dues. So just wanted to point that out a little bit. Supplies and software freeze. A complete freeze on buying office furniture, electronics, promotional items, and bulky supply orders. Furthermore, a strict freeze has been placed on new software subscriptions, system upgrades, and license expansions. Man, they're telling the truth right there themselves, and they don't even realize it. They're in plain sight telling you where all the money, billions goes, bulk supply orders. And this is a long time coming for Postal Service. Postal Service could have had so much money right now. We could have been making 30 starting, had all these, the decades and decades of wasted money had been saved. But it's all, you can see it in plain sight. Would have been a different story had all of this money been saved. We would have been right there with UPS starting pay. People would come to work with pride. And it's amazing. I see it. I see everything. I see the whole picture plainly just by reading a little bit. The extraordinary financial maneuver to delay running out of money, the USPS did something drastic in April 2026. It stopped paying its employer contributions to the federal employees' retirement system. Something drastic, yeah, hurting the employees, that's for sure. First covers all postal employees hired after January 8, 1987. The USPS told the Office of Personnel Management, OPM, it is withholding these payments to conserve near-term cash. The USPS did this once before in June 2011 during a similar financial crunch, resuming payments and paying back OPM a few months later. Hopefully it's the same scenario this time. We all pray that everything goes back to normal. This cash crunch, they call it. To grab immediate revenue, the USPS is planning to raise the price of first class forever stamp on July 12th. This coming July 12th from 78 cents to 82 cents. While the USPS has aggressively raised prices every January and July since 2020, its regulatory agency has recently stepped in, limiting the USPS to only one price hike per year through September 2030. This upcoming July hike still requires final regulatory approval. What happens if the USPS collapses? The stakes. If the USPS, God forbid, we want to say God forbid first of all, runs out of cash, the ripple effects across the US economy would be catastrophic. The workforce, it directly impacts a massive workforce of 640,000 souls that are depending on this thing, and generations that have come by, lived an awesome career, retired happily, everything paid off. We stepped into this thing with that same dream, that same mindset. So, unfortunate for us, we're going through the current times, and it's a struggle. Furthermore, 30% of the current workforce is less than 5 years away from retirement eligibility, adding severe demographic pressure. The economy, the USPS anchors a $2 trillion mailing and shipping industry that supports roughly 7.8 million jobs. Private competitors, private giants like Amazon and UPS rely heavily on us as well, USPS. They pay the Postal Service to deliver their packages to remote rural destinations where it is unprofitable for private trucks to drive, because we go to every address. So they use us accordingly, and we like that extra thing we got to do for that money. So last mile, if the USPS goes under, rural shipping fails. The USPS wish list for Congress, this is what they're asking Congress to do immediately. The USPS is currently drafting a list of emergency proposals to send to lawmakers later this summer to put the agency on firmer financial ground. Postmaster General Steiner noted that if Congress doesn't give them a direct financial bailout, they will need the legal flexibility to close unprofitable post offices, slash the number of delivery days per week, reduce overall service standards, gain greater authority to aggressively raise mail prices. Their hands are tied at this point. I mean, if you raise prices already, we have people that are already struggling, that don't want to pay the extra hike, but at the same time, their USPS is bound to do this too. So, conflict. Postal unions like the NALC, led by Brian Renfraud argued that cutting delivery frequency is a mistake and that Congress needs to pass long-term business model reforms instead. So that's in general what steps they're taking. Post office to cut the spending right now. But as we were earlier talking about it, there's billions sitting right under their nose that they can save immediately, but they choose not to because, as we know, management is their favorite child, and they won't touch them with anything. So, but like I always say, there's good in management too. There's good folks that work their way up. Much respect to all of them. Whenever I say bad management, I don't mean to say everybody. It may sound like everybody, but there's good folks that work their way up, that respect all the carriers and all the other classes, mail handlers. It's the whole postal family. So you got to mention everybody, the hardworking folks, mail handlers, clerks. So there's not bad in everybody, but you know what the saying is, there's a few bad apples in the basket. So more than a few bad apples, but you all know what I'm trying to say. So basically this video just sharing what USPS steps they're taking. They're very serious on what the Postmaster General said about the money running out. We contemplated, always do, that it's not the whole truth. Some of you in the comments as well have presented evidence as well. This is not true, but this is what he's claiming to the media, and it's serious enough. They're taking steps. Granted, he wants the bailout, like post office always has gotten a bailout in the previous decades. They've gotten bailouts from Congress to help them through, but we were saying the money is there, and it's a give or take situation, you can believe, because he's sounding the alarm. He's taking steps aggressively to change, to actually acquire more money, a bailout. But some of us know that this ain't the scenario. But I'm relying the information that I come across, so it may not be true, may be true, but just passing the information along, the heads up. So stamp price hikes, that is not what public wants. Obviously, people are scarcely coming to the post office anyway. Everybody's affecting, the whole economy is down, so raising the stamp price, but at the same time they're buying to do this. They're controlled by the upper management. Starting from the Postmaster General, he sent out the word that do these things to get some emergency cash coming up. So they all got to follow what he's telling. FARS is stopped, as we know. The employee contributions, we know that happened a month ago or so. Hiring freeze, that's what they talk about. Beyond the authorized headcount, he's saying now requires direct approval from Postmaster General Doug Talino. So that's what I wanted to share in this video, what the steps post office is taking to conserve cash. They're serious about the money running out in early next year, 2027, God forbid. We pray to God to help us through this tough time. Like the article said, 640,000 souls are dependent on this thing. We got to keep it going. It's been going on for generations. Public service, not private, as some people claim. The comparison is to private companies, UPS, FedEx, but doesn't mean we're still a public service. So some of you mentioned very good in the comments that military is also a public service. So other public services are not accountable for generating revenue, but post office is. So There's some differences there, but we're always in the spotlight as to we gotta generate some results. So anyway, that's it for this video. Glad to be back with you all. Took a few days off, like I mentioned, just a reset, and love doing what I do, being a mail carrier right there with you guys, the postal family. Respect all the mail handlers, clerks, everybody in the postal family, truck drivers. Respect all what y'all do. Prayers go up to keep us going through this tough time. Different things our service, beloved service, is facing. NALC, of course, prayers for them. May we get a good contract, starting out pay $30. A lot of you gonna just laugh at this point and say that ain't happening, but I feel you still gotta, somehow positivity. You know how I'm always about positivity. You gotta mention it. The what if factor. What if it does happen? But highly unlikely with this president, this current president, until someone better comes along, takes the helm and changes the things up, stands up for the carriers. We are stuck with this guy right now. He's gonna go through his normal routine that he's doing the best he can. You see him in the other video, man. Chilling right there, sitting in that hotel in DC. The conference is coming, I think, in a couple of days, June 1st. Chilling, got his, everything set up. Nice AC, 6 figures in the bank off of our union dues. And just chilling, relaxing. I'm the president of the NALC, but I do next to nothing for my carriers. Last year I got him a 1.3% raise. And a big old red goofy smile on his dumbass, excuse my language, face. It just pisses you off, inside you're pissed that union dues, 35 per paycheck we give, and, that he doesn't fight for us like he should, get us the big raises, is his job. USPS has a rep sitting there. Why the heck are you scared of him, man? Why do you bow down? You're the president. Wake up. You were given that seat for a reason. Honor it, man. Fight for it. Get up. Stand up. I think there's a song on that. Get up. Stand up. Get up. Stand up. Fight for the carrier base. Say what needs to be said, man. Don't don't bow down. Don't say yes, okay, we agree, 1%, 1.3%, 1.4%, 1.2%, such and such colas. Carrier base is very happy. We're living in the massive inflation, hardest ever. But yet here you are trying to lose your position on purpose, but you're already done. We know what you're about. You're going to be done here in a second, and the new president will come in, take the helm. Best man win. Henry or Cariff, both tough, neck and neck right now. So props go out to both of them. They're awesome what they're doing. Once the best man takes the main office, puts his plan into action, then we'll see what they're about. But right now, it's stuck with rent fraud. Same old routine. Conference, he's gonna do his little due diligence, speak the good words. We're battling. We're fighting for these topics. Fight like hell. He hasn't seen hell yet, but fight like hell. So, he's gonna do his thing until he has that nice, comfy AC seat with 6 figures. He's gonna do his due diligence. So it is what it is, guys. Until next time, this is it. Just want to give an update on what USPS. There's some other topics, hot topics, get to in the next videos. So stay tuned, guys. Until next time, this is it. MailmanSyed out. Have a wonderful weekend, guys.